Namaste and welcome back to today's episode of Mahabharata Matters. In the previous episode, we saw that Yudhishthira was performing Rajasuya Yajna. The coronation of the king was performed. After the Yajna was performed, the coronation was done. The next ritual was the supreme king who was coronated was to honor all the guests. The person who is highly revered and highly respected by the king gets the Agrapūjā. Yudhishthira asked Bhishma for suggesting who he should do the Agrapūjā to. Bhishma was very happy to suggest Krishna. Yudhishthira was elated. Bhishma had put words to his heart's desire. Krishna was everything to the Pandavas and Yudhishthira. He was their well-wisher, a friend, a cousin, a guru, everything that they can think of. Yudhishthira was elated to perform Agrapūjā, the first honor, to the guest Krishna. Most people were happy with the choice, but some people were displeased. Śiśupāla was one among them. Śiśupāla hated Krishna from his childhood. Now who is Śiśupāla? Śiśupāla was his cousin from the paternal side. Krishna's father Vasudeva had two sisters. Kunti was one of them, who was adopted by Kunti Bhoja. His other sister was Shritashrava. Her son was Śiśupāla. He had hated Krishna since childhood. He objected to the choice of Krishna being given the first honor. He started using foul language and abusing Krishna. He even abused Bhishma for having suggested his name. He abused the Pandavas for having done the ritual to Krishna. Śiśupāla even extended the logic and said, in the august presence of Drona, Drupada, Bhishma, Vasudeva even, there were many respected people, but then the Pandavas had chosen Krishna. This was unacceptable to Śiśupāla. He even called Krishna as Ranachod, Ranabhiru, because he had run away from Mathura to Dwaraka when Jarasandha kept attacking them. He used many choice words to abuse the very birth of Bhishma, the Pandavas, and Krishna too. Śiśupāla even invited Krishna for a battle. He claimed that he could defeat Krishna in no time. A fierce battle ensued between the two of them. And finally, Krishna took his Sudarshana Chakra and cut off the head of Śiśupāla. Śiśupāla was no more. Krishna had given release from this birth for Jaya. Śiśupāla was none other than Jaya of the Jaya Vijaya fame, who were born as Śiśupāla and Dantavaktra in this era. He had given release to Jaya from the body of Śiśupāla. While releasing the Sudarshana Chakra from his hand, it is said that Krishna got a cut and it started bleeding. Draupadi, who was standing right there, ran to his rescue. Draupadi had always loved Krishna as her own brother. She tore off a piece of her sari and tied it around the wound of Krishna. Krishna smiled and he said he was going to repay her debt someday. So, what are our takeaways from this episode? Greatness and respect are not commanded only due to age. There can be elderliness in many levels. Gnana Vriddha, Vayo Vriddha, Tapo Vriddha, Vidya Vriddha, also Dhana Vriddhas. So, Gnana Vriddha is somebody who is elderly in his knowledge. Vidya Vriddha in his learning. Tapo Vriddha in his penance and austerities. Then of course Vayo Vriddha because of age and Dhana Vriddha who has lot of wealth. All these command respect. And here we can see that Krishna was a Vriddha in all these aspects. Hence Bhishma had suggested his name for the Agrapūjā. Respect is commanded, not demanded. Śiśupāla was demanding, whereas Krishna was commanding respect. Our demeanor is what defines how much we are loved. Another thing we can observe here is that when Krishna was addressed as Ranabhiru, Ranchod by Śiśupāla, he did not take offense. He at that time had done what was essential to deal with the situation. Afterwards, the taunts and offenses hurled at him did not bother Krishna. Another thing we can observe here is that when we give, the Lord gives back multifold. Draupadi had used a small piece of cloth to tie his wound. It is said that each strand of that piece of cloth became a mile-long sari to protect her honor later in the Dyuta Sabha. With these thoughts, we come to the end of today's episode. Remember, in this series, we are discussing matters of Mahabharata because even today, Mahabharata matters. Hari Om.